Wait a minute. You come to my page throwing shade, and you think you better than me? Never, bitch. Things that you do, you'll be never rich.
Jeez, this world. Jeez, this world. G baby, pull up. I'm about to put you on. Did you hear what happened this week? Cause girl, you're about to know. The scallywag of the week. Of the week. Of the week. Sipping tea with Prince G. Prince G. Prince G. The baddest in the streets. In the streets. In the sheets. Put G behind glass. It's GTV. Guilty pleasures where I be. Catch a glimpse of G's this world. It's full of pop culture. Come pop your thing, come twerk. If you got the green light, go. The G-spot flows. Get on that. Kingdom vibes. It's my throne. I'm on that. It's the goal. That's the climb. I'm vibing on the road. It's my show. Let's start it. This world is full of pop culture. Come pop your thing, come twerk. All right, welcome back to G's World. Here we go again. I told y'all we're gonna do weekly episodes for Rupaul's All Stars 9. Here I am with my lovely co-host, Quan Pierre.
Hi, happy to be here again. I'm ready to talk Drag Race. I have a lot of thoughts on this episode, so I'm just ready. I'm feeling good. You feeling good, G?
I am feeling good, to be honest with y'all. Like, I just woke up from a nap, so at the end of the day, I'm a little like, meh. But I feel nice and rejuvenated at the same time. It was a nap I didn't know I needed.
Same, I just woke up and I'm feeling, that little rush. I needed it. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Y'all not getting fully glam G today at all. You know what I mean? But this is my regular look though. At home, I'm the most of the time. So we're just gonna get a real glimpse of G this time. I'm excited for this episode to talk shit and to talk good about it. Okay, because there was both things to do, so I can't wait to get into that. Before we get into it, wanted to let y'all know, G Baby, this channel is going to be opening up to a lot of different content. Make sure you subscribe and like. Right now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of everything that I am. I am not just somebody who watches one show. I watch millions of shows. So I do want to get into it. Shout out to Carlos King, Jason Lee, all those people. I definitely am inspired by many things they do. So the Prince of Pop Culture, honey, is arriving. And Spotify is going to have a new episode this week where we get into the music tea and all that stuff. So make sure we get into that. So before we get into RuPaul Drag Race, I had a question for you.
Oh, I get a question. Okay, got you.
I need you to tell everybody, before we get into it, I need you to tell everybody about your podcast.
I get a moment. Okay, got you. Thank you.
I can get a moment.
I love my moments when I get
I'm letting you have a moment.
Okay, have my moment. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Quan Pierre. I currently do have a podcast called Quan Pierre Scream Supreme, where we do talk true crime, horror, urban legends, anything ooky, spooky, scary. That's my vibe. I've always loved stuff like that. So I just gave myself a platform to discuss that. Again, Quan Pierre Scream Supreme on Spotify and Apple Music. And you definitely want to watch now because I'm on my second season of my podcast and I have great things coming, including an episode with a certain someone. So, I don't know who. I'm going to let you guess. Big hint. But yeah, so check it out. Subscribe, follow, all that. My moment is done.
That's your moment and it's done. We gave you that moment. But yes, I'm going to be joining onto that podcast. I'll be watching it's a horror, everybody. So I'm not gonna sit here and bring
He's gonna be that day.
Horror, but I am the opposite. It's not that I'm anti-horror. I just don't get scared easily. So I never find the thrill into the horror movies for me. So, I'll be watching 30 Days of what is it, night? 30 Days of Night. 30 Days of Night. And then I'm going to give you that hood review, honey, because I'm probably going to...
Mind you, I have a whole list. Horror watchers, I have a whole list for him, so that's not the only one he's going to watch. That's his intro. So if he's going to find something that makes him scared or creeped out, it's going to be one of those things. I have a list. I have a long list, so we're going to be going through that.
Period. I'm excited, semi-excited. to watch this movie.
I'm excited.
It's not my movie, but yes. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe to all our channels. They'll be tagged in there below. All right. Subscribed. I hope y'all liked. And now let's get into the tea of All Stars 9. So let's start it out. Roxy now has 2 badges. How do we feel about that?
I'm happy. Well, as you know, last episode, Nina gave her 1 badge, which she still has a badge. She still got a badge. She earned her 2nd one last episode. I'm happy Roxy got her badges. I feel like viewers maybe also were kind of sleeping on her a little bit, but well, actually, I want to ask you: do you give her full credit still for even though she was handed that first badge, you still give her front runner status?
For me, due to this specific episode, right, the badges kind of took away from me the front runner thing now, because it was a bad strategy to give badges to the girls who didn't have a badge, because now they doubled up. So it was interesting how that got played into that, where I was just like, ooh, Roxy getting ahead of the line is not my ideal choice. So I will say that, am I happy that she earned her own badge? Yeah, because I feel like a free badge is a little womp-womp, you know?
But would you still consider her a front runner, though? Even though it was a handed badge? Oh, she still hasn't reached though. Okay, got you. I see what you mean. I see.
No.
Right now,
we got 12 episodes with these 8 girls. Okay, honey. So check. There's plenty of badges and twists and turns, because that was a little twist where Angeria ends up getting that that second with okay, she got cut, but RuPaul was
definitely need your thoughts on it, because bitch.
I feel like it was a producer move, because just like you said last week, I think Got Mick is one of the producer push, but I think Angeria is also a producer push as well.
Because like we said, Angeria got blocked again. Okay, so she says oh, I feel like this blocking was a little personal. It was funny at first, but I feel like it's personal. Girl, yes, it's personal. I thought she got. But at least what Roxy said, thanks for getting my karma for whoever blocked Angeria. I think it was Got who blocked Angeria that last time. I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't. Did you think Roxy would have blocked her again?
I didn't. I thought she was gonna block her again. She a bitch. Roxy's a bitch. So you know what I mean? She's actually known to be like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, she plays coy and nice, but she is a bitch, totally. So at the end of the day, when she was ready to cut, she was ready to cut. Do I feel like Angeria, I'm not trying to invalidate her feelings. Her feelings were legit. I just don't think they were, Angeria's a class act. So I think in that moment, she should have remembered she's a class act and kept it going. Because 1, it is a game, but 2, at the same time, do we know it was personal? Hell yeah, but take it personally. Personally, be flattered. Personally, when it comes to this cutting, they ain't cutting a weak bitch. So at the end of the day, no shade, they're not running around cutting Georges. So.
But honestly, okay. But still though, I feel like, because Angeria was only really showed what she could do, she won 1 episode. And they ain't really giving this girl a chance to show too much. So I think it was just a personal move. Roxy was still upset about the whole cutting thing, the whole getting blocked by her in that first episode. So she got her again.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Roxy, when she was cut, did she even win the next week?
Did Roxy win that next week?
So then,
that was first week she got cut, right?
Right.
That was
if you win, then you got a reason to get back. Then you got to get your lick back. If you won and you couldn't get a badge that day, then you get a lick back. But I feel like I don't even think you won that week. So it didn't really affect you, though.
Yeah, I don't even think she even won that next episode.
Some of these snips are not going to affect people. So,
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you didn't even deliver that week. So, you know what I mean? So it's it's not going to affect all the time. So I don't know for sure, but if it is the case where she didn't win the week that she was already snipped, then it didn't affect you and you didn't need to get your lick back either. Because also it's personal to me, because at the end of the day, a random viewer who don't know none of these girls, who are just watching All Stars 9 right now, they're going to look at it like, wait, why are we picking on the black girl?
Mm-hmm.
It does get to that point quickly. I saw a lot of the reactions. You get what I'm saying? Like, why are we picking on just one? Why is Angeria the topic of conversation? But, you know, what was interesting is Got Mick had Roxy's back. So what's interesting is Got Mick has, remember last week, Got Mick was starting shit with the alliance. I do love the fact that we were both talking about, we didn't expect this. We don't see the episode before anybody, so we actually see it later. We watch that Friday. No Tina Fey. We try, but we really don't get to see it on Friday sometimes. So funny that we said that Chanel, we liked how Chanel brought up.
Chanel gonna clock that. Chanel gonna clock the tea. Like,
and she's like, we're not letting go of this, because when you lie on somebody, you don't let go of that situation. When you know you up to some funny shit, you ain't bringing this back up. So when she brought this up, that little birdie got revealed again now about who said what about alliances. I felt like that caused up a storm right there for viewers and for the room. I felt the tension in the room after that conversation. Now, how did you feel about us finding out that Roxy went to Vanjie, and then Vanjie told Mick?
Oh, bitch, I got thoughts. Oh, bitch. My first thought is, first of all, okay. As y'all probably know, last episode, I just thought Gottmik was scheming, doing producer shit. That's why I didn't really believe the whole Birdie thing. To find out it was Roxy who went to Vanjie about the idea of alliances, and then Vanjie went to Gottmik. I just thought it was funny that Gottmik was trying to call out alliances when it is very clear that her and Vanjie, and I'll say her and Vanjie definitely have an alliance going on. So we don't want to call it alliance when you clearly have something going on with another player, when there's some sort of connection where you got each other's backs like that. Because Vanjie even said that she walked out for Gottmik. Everyone else in that room she could have told, she went to Gottmik. So clearly y'all got something.
So you felt, when you saw that situation go down, you felt in your heart that Gottmik and Vanjie are actually in the alliance.
Oh, I felt that a couple episodes ago when they did that the painting challenge, the painting episode they did.
Yeah.
In my head, instantly, I don't see, if it gives like All-Star 7 where they give like someone gets to choose who's in the top with them, I don't see a chance where Vanjie does not choose Gottmik and Gottmik does not choose Vanjie. I definitely see that being an alliance.
And you know what? I ain't mad at it either, because at the end of the day, I feel like alliances that come from fucking each other works. Because it's more of a genuine thing. It's more of a genuine alliance. It's not an alliance where you fuck them over at the end. You know what I mean?
It's actual friendship. Friendship.
No shade to Relaxatize. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're right. If there's an alliance between Gottmik and Vanjie, it is starting to show more. I really do think we could also confuse it with their bond. So it's easy to see that it could be just a bond because they are close. Mm-hmm. So I look at it that I didn't catch alliance for me, but I see the possibility of it being an alliance.
What was your thoughts? Okay, because listen, Nina started talking about how like when they were doing the lip sync, she made sure to cheer for everyone so there was no misconstruing, and everyone's face was kind of like, girl, what? Like, no one in there is going to was planning on toning down or being mindful of who they cheer for throughout this competition. Because Plastique said something, Vanjie said something about the whole idea of having to like be careful who you cheer for so you don't get the wrong idea. Like, I understood what Nina was going for, but I think that is ridiculous.
Okay, so how I felt about that situation was just extra mess that wasn't needed. Extra mess that was like, now you're playing manipulative games. Like, someone's clapping for someone, now it's an alliance. Like, this is like, that's not a reason. We always seen throughout every damn season, when someone's lip singing, a few of the girls will be like literally picking a side the minute the lip sync starts. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, I don't like the talking that's going on. I'm not liking. I feel like if y'all looking for a camera time and you're trying to start, it seems like you're forcing the drama. You guys don't really have drama. You guys actually get along. I don't think the drama is completely real. Now, do I think that this episode brought the competition level in them higher? Mm-hmm. I think the conversation of alliances and everything made everyone go a little more testy. Now I felt like everyone was stuck on a testy day now. Like, you can say random shit and now somebody's feeling some type of way. You know, so I thought it was just like a tense episode already from the beginning of the little birdie being revealed on how alliances might have been said. And then the whole like clapping for somebody. I thought that was really petty to bring up. Like, I really thought it was petty because I was just like, I think we all kind of sometimes, not all the time, we sometimes pick, like, I automatically know you about to kill a girl, you better whoop that girl's ass in the lip sync. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, better do it. So I don't look at it like anybody was being an alliance or anything like that. But then what made it better, it was a good twist. It was a good transition, was the fact that the mini challenge begins and it's the fucking Teletubbies.
That boosted the energy so much. I never smiled so much during the mini challenge. Like, I didn't realize I loved the Teletubbies as much as I did until they popped up on Drag Race. I was smiling throughout the entire thing. It was so cute. I was
already an adult. We were already like teenagers, young teenagers going into adulthood when Teletubbies was like my siblings thing. You know what I mean? So I do remember it. I think what happens is we all remember the time though when they came out, where the conversation of Tinky Winky and the purse and what they would stand for, the Teletubbies were gay, the colors were very like a certain way. So it was always a big conversation around the Teletubbies. But did the kids love the Teletubbies? Yes. So were they able to appeal to those kids that are grown-ups now? And were they able to appeal to us who remember we didn't fuck with watching Teletubbies, but we know what the Teletubbies stood for. You know what I mean? So it was a dope moment.
Hell, even kids who watch drag, with DragCon, we know even the kids who watch the Drag Race. So they probably live for the moment of having the Teletubbies on their screen.
That's what I'm saying. It's them. But the reason, there are kids who watch it, but like me personally as a parent would not let my child watch. You gotta be like 10 and up. You're not watching Drag Race because they don't know how to like get the words together. The words be talking about sucking dick and you be making so many innuendos. Then the whole pit crew thing, like at the end of the day, like it's not for my child. No shade, sorry. If y'all let your children watch it, great. The creative part about it, go take them to a drag show. Go take them to a drag show. There are drag shows during the day, drag brunches. Do those kind of things. Those are a safe place for children. That's just how I feel. Just into that. Not to get political, but it's just not all the homos think that the kids should be everywhere. Okay? Like, But back to the Teletubbies, I just thought it was pretty dope that the Teletubbies, but then it gave like a nice hint that the challenge coming up might be an acting challenge. You know what I mean?
What were your thoughts on the dancing?
I thought the mini challenge was just to bring the Teletubbies on. I didn't think anyone won for real, even though.
No, I'm saying, like, what were your thoughts on like the dance moves that were busted out though? Just for fun. What were your thoughts on like the dance moves that were busted out? Anyone really fuck it up for you? I
felt like they didn't want to do it.
Was there music playing or were they dancing to silence?
I don't know. Maybe they played it for us, but I don't think they played it for them because they didn't look like they were into this shit at all. The Teletubbies were more.
It gave no rhythm. These are drag performers. It gave no rhythm.
Yeah, I didn't want to like even the purple one at the end gave you a little bit of tap tap tap. You know what I mean? And I was just like, okay.
Like Jerry turned it up. Andy was over here throwing ass on the Teletubbies.
I thought it was just like a cameo moment. I thought it was a cameo moment for the Teletubbies. I didn't think it was a real challenge. I didn't think it was a real mini challenge or anything. So they announced the winner. I was just like, okay, like who cares? Like I didn't even like.
They have challenges like this where it was just like promote RuPaul's new single or like have a cameo for a guest.
That's what I'm saying. This is a cameo moment where I was just like, we celebrating the Teletubbies. You know what I mean? Like, And it was like a break for them. They ain't gotta worry about it. They ain't gotta go too hard. But I just felt like they were in it. Like, I ain't gonna lie. They didn't look like they want. Yeah, it ain't look like they wanted to back it up on the Teletubbies. You know what I mean? Like.
But it was cute. I loved it.
Also, they were probably trying to keep it as PG possible for them because of the Teletubbies. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt for that. But regardless, then you shouldn't have did a dance party then. Okay. What you should have did was you should have had the Teletubbies. You know what would have been interesting? Here's an idea. Teletubbies would have been the ones judging your quick fashion. Like, y'all only got like 15 minutes to come up with some damn look. Because Tinky Winky had his person. He knew how to like accessorize. So that's not, like, you could have did some shit like that. But I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and then he could have took out of his person and across the board or 0, you know?
I was thinking that. Give them cards for like 10s and like, I was thinking that we're here.
It would have been like, you know, I'm telling you, they need to call because y'all need obviously new producer ideas. No shade. Y'all need new producer ideas because it's great to bring in stuff like that, but at the same time, like, hey, do something with it though. Do something with it. Because your Teletubbies was more excited than your guest judge. So. And then at the end of the day, RuPaul, you should have called somebody from Selling Sunset. Nobody's watching that millionaire real estate show that is actually watching this show. Well, that's that white people watching that millionaire real estate show. Yeah, we watching Selling Sunset. That is what we watch. You should have called Chriselle or somebody to jump on that situation if it needed to be a real estate reality show person. I'm just saying. But so nobody knew who that bitch was. Okay, so nobody.
You can tell. You can really tell when they say a name.
No, nobody.
Yeah, you can tell when the queens don't know somebody when they say the guest judge name, even though they still clap. You can tell when they don't know who that is.
And you can see the fakeness, like who that?
Like, wow. Like,
and I'm the principal. I know of the show. But you can't tell me that you are that popular that people know who you are unless you are the white demographic. Like, don't try to play. Like, it's like when people watch Below Deck on Bravo. Most of the hood, we watch Real Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac. But most of them white people watching that Below Deck hardcore. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, again, RuPaul, stay playing on a demographic that you just, like, we get it. White people are going to watch the show regardless. Even if you make it more comments.
You're going to get your white views.
You're going to get your white views no matter what, but it's like you work for these white views so hard on this show, and it's getting annoying. Okay? That's all. It's getting annoying. There were so many people, like, Selling Sunset is a dope-ass show, and I know you know about, like, everybody heard of Selling Sunset. Like, it's, Netflix killed that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
so. I heard of the show. I didn't.
You never watched it? So wait, you never watched Selling Sunset? It's really good. It's really good. So.
How much real estate?
The acting challenge show was supposed to be like some real estate, selling real estate, right? So like the location was Salem, Massachusetts, Tumbleweed, Texas, Gator Glades, Florida, and Frosty Bits, Alaska. So I'm gonna ask you, how did you feel with Angeria? She got a lot of, hey girl, I felt like RuPaul was like, they fucking with you. So now
yes.
Let you fuck with them. Okay, like, but she didn't. How did you feel about Angeria's parents? She actually didn't. Fuck, she shut up.
Okay,
shut up. Shut up.
I said I had. Okay,
she wanted to be a clap.
Here's my thought. Now, I want you to hear me out on this one. I want you to hear me out on this one because this is another one part of my Quan has a lot of thoughts moment. Okay, she gave her pairings and she says like, "Oh, I wasn't being malicious. I was giving everyone who they could work well with." Right? I call Cap. I call Big Cap. I don't believe that you just got blocked, right? And you have the girl that just blocked you, won the challenge last season. You tell me you didn't think at all the possibility that, like, okay, I need to make sure that she doesn't get in position again so she could possibly block me again. Or make sure I can win, right? And I think if she puts her with Roxy, as we know, in her past seasons, acting challenges were not her strong suit. She was not an actress at all. She did not give that. She didn't like doing goofy shit. That wasn't her thing. She even says, like even season 6, the iconic moment, I take drag seriously.
Just like Plastique. Just like Plastique.
I was going to give it to you. Exactly. And you pair her with Plastique, someone else who did not perform well in an acting challenge at all. But you put them together. You want me to believe you weren't thinking about it at all? You were just putting it together with someone who's going to work good together? I call Cap Nigeria. Not saying you're a liar.
Yeah, he called Cap. I
believe it.
I believe it. I thought the pairing when the pairing happened, I believe I'm on Angeria's side of the class act thing. I think she decided. I don't think people like want to always wake up and be petty. So at the end of the day, like there's people like me who really don't care. I'd be looking at you like I'm still better than you. So I'm like I don't need to get to your level. And Roxy is definitely somebody I wouldn't if I was Angeria get to the level. But the pairings, I would have paired if I paired competition wise without fucking nobody up. This was the right pairing. That's why I believe it was a good pairing because I would have paired Roxy with Plastique. Why? Because you would be able to work together. If you worked with a good actor, then you will lose and you will have someone outweigh you. I think that you would equally put it. So I'm going to defend Angeria and say like, nah, that's a class act. The way she thinks, it really is. I don't think she gets anything out of being a bitch.
Oh no, I don't bash her. If that's what she did.
No, I don't think you bash her. I'm just defending your point. That's all. Like I'm just trying to defend that point because
whenever I point out someone doing gameplay like that, it's never bashing. I love it. So that
I thought the gameplay would have been great if you would have fucked them over.
Yeah, if you would have fucked them over.
You put Roxy with Nina Sky. Like that is what have fucked it over. Like that would have messed it up. Like you would have messed it up right there. You would have messed up the whole like game for them right there. Roxy is not only trying to. If you want to mess up Roxy, right, you would put someone like Nina with her, right? Because you with Nina, now you're gonna intimidate her.
Overpower her.
Now you're going to overthinking. Not it's like if you really wanted to be malicious, she could have, and she's smart enough. But I don't think she wanted to because when you do the pairing up challenges, I think as a competitor and knowing RuPaul history, when you do pairing up shit, one person can fuck up the whole game for you. So let's not try to pair up with somebody that you don't have the bond or chemistry with. Like or the talent.
I can see that.
Yeah. Now if it was like a sewing challenge, it'll be different. Now you better grab Chanel, you better grab Roxy, you better grab like who can sew something. But when it came to like an acting challenge, I'm like, nah, it's good at Plastique because Plastique was also known to have this mediocrity in acting, Roxy as well. So now either one won't outweigh each other. Now they'll work harder together. You get what I'm saying? And they did. So like, they did. Now,
I'm just a competitive bitch, I guess. I'm just a competitive bitch because I wouldn't have been that nice. I would have been that nice. I don't know.
Now, it's the whole Salem, Massachusetts, easy pick. You go Halloween, no shade. It's an easy pick for Salem.
Which one would you chose? Which one would you have wanted to do?
I would have wanted to do Gator Glades. I feel Gator Glades. It's funny. I could do that like honky donkey type of like making fun of the redneck, missing tooth, tumbleweed. You
would have been fighting right there with Roxy and Vanjie over Gator Glades.
I wouldn't know. See, the thing is, you know what? Gator Glades and Tumbleweed, Texas, I didn't like that they were both on the list because they're very similar to me too. When I think of like the way they are in their specific situation, I'm like, nah, that is the way it is. Now, would I have done Texas in the way that they did it? No, it worked, but I wouldn't have done Texas in the way that they did it because I felt like Texas could have went more cowboy western. Gator Glades, Florida could have did the trailer park. So I thought them having that two options, it kind of threw them off. You know what I mean? Because most of the people who were doing it were, colored people. So at the end of the day, we're going to think of what we saw in those areas. Not
the country and like,
I don't know about Plastic's accent, but it was hilarious to me.
In the workroom, that first accent she tried, it trailed off into every country.
No, I thought it was the same accent even in the thing, but I thought it was funny. It's supposed to be funny. Like I think whatever they delivered was supposed to be funny no matter what. So I thought it delivered like tacky, funny accent. Like it was a funny, like if I try to do a southern accent, I probably sound like that, like fucking it all up. Unlike people from the South, it's much more different. Like Angeria sounded like literally the lady from the South. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, like I felt like Angeria didn't get to open up her horizons by playing that. Like I was like, that's easy, girl, for you. So I feel like it wasn't gonna be a standout for the moment.
What did you think about Nina and Chanel being paired together.
I didn't. That's why I didn't even mention them first. I know they went first. So I didn't mention them first because obviously you let Nina take over. You obviously let Nina take over, and then Nina went with this whole dark blah 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 situation, and I'm like, I didn't even I don't understand why you went so dark with Salem. Like I didn't understand. Like you could have did the whole Blair Witch, but turned it into a little. Where was the drag? Where was the drag in this particular commercial?
Okay, for me, I personally, because the way it was described to them in like the pictures that they were given and shit for like Salem has like the dark history and stuff, and it was described as like being the witchy town. So I fucks with like where they went with it, with the whole like dark like vibe, with the whole dead jokes, the ghost jokes. Shout out to them for like terminology though. The real estate terminology that they had, shout out to them for having that.
Real estate terminology was on point.
Their terminology was on point. I think they're the only ones that really had that down.
Yeah,
but I fuck with the whole like dark vibe, Dracula, shout out to Dracula type era they were doing with that. I fucked with it. You didn't like the dark tone they were doing?
I feel like Dracula would have eliminated them.
Of course they would. But
I don't even want to compare it to Dracula. What I didn't like, it wasn't creative. It wasn't creative, and what you should have did was like, and it's okay because down the street, there might be a burning of the witch. Like, you bring in real shit. All you did was turn it into a scary thing, and it's like, nah, it didn't represent Salem at all. Like, I didn't think of Salem. I just thought of someone in a dark room doing some dark horror shit. It didn't represent Salem, which you could have brought up the burning of the witches. You could have had witches walking by or something in the video. Like, there was nothing. It was just a dark. Sorry, did not impress me at all. I am from Massachusetts, so I didn't understand.
Oh yeah, you are from Massachusetts.
I didn't see the connection at all.
It was supposed to be campy. It's a campy portrayal.
That's what was missing for me. The camp was missing for me. I thought the camp was missing for me. Nina Sky is so campy. I thought
Nina who?
The outfit was off it.
Nina West.
Nina West. Nina Sky. Whatever the name.
You called her Nina Sky twice. I'm fucking crying.
Nina Sky. Listen, Nina. I like Nina as a clown. Like, you're a great little clown. Like, you are one of those campy queens, and then you're super tall. So at the end of the day, like, you're a giant clown. So like, you're always gonna stand out. You're talented and everything. I just thought in this particular challenge, you should have stand out more. You didn't stand out more. I felt like your hair was whack. Like, you wear a big hair like that. You had your like trunch bowl look. Like, I don't know what it was. It wasn't giving. Chanel, the outfit wasn't giving. It just
was like clowning. I thought Chanel's outfit was tea. I liked the outfit. You didn't like the outfit.
It didn't look like a real estate situation. It just didn't give the chance. This is why. That's why.
So he's on ookie shit, and that's okay. I'm like ookie.
I was voting for Nina's was my favorite from day one, honey. Like, you have to do it right. You just can't like just applaud anybody who does horror. Like,
I don't applaud anyone. I diss a lot of bitches that try to do horror.
RuPaul didn't think it was great. Nobody.
Horror wasn't that bad. So it's like it wasn't. Was it peak? No.
Nobody thought it was great.
That's
nobody talking about it. Nobody's posting it on TikTok.
Cute.
No one is reposting it on TikTok. No one's doing anything on that one. Those not getting no.
I think it was.
Let's talk about the stars.
I feel like Chanel should have tried to reach Nina's level more as far as like comedy wise, because I feel like, of course, Nina was going to stand out. Nina's the comedian. Nina is the, like you said, the clown. She has the acting experience. Chanel doesn't have much of that. But I feel like Chanel caught up a little bit, but it still overall wasn't like amazing. They weren't the worst, but it wasn't amazing. Like, so I didn't hate it.
I'm glad that they don't have elimination, so y'all can like the ones y'all like. But I'm glad that when the voting and the judging needs to come on, then the real truth comes on. Where I'm like, damn, thank God.
Even if they did, they wouldn't be eliminated. I can tell you who will be eliminated. What did you think of Gottmik and George's?
Awful. Why?
That's that.
Because in that moment was the perfect example of why it wasn't on purpose. It just ends up, when you pair, it ends up like that, where at the end of the day is what's left. And you put one amazing, super strong at this kind of thing with someone who wouldn't be super strong at this challenge. But at the end of the day, let me be honest with you, George's is still learning. And I think that is something that I feel like, RuPaul's a fan of George's, so there's a difference. Like, of opinion with Georges. I'm not here to bash Georges. I think Georges is going to be, in 5 more years, a super drag queen. But right now, I don't feel like you still honed in the other crafts that come into this particular show. Or what people don't realize is like you'll always have a job going to the club and lip syncing in your life. But if you plan to be in A Star Is Born, like Shangela, if you plan to do movies and stuff like that, if you plan to do something besides lip syncing and putting on a dress, then you need to hone into those crafts. That's why when people be letting those looks queens get away with stuff, I'm like, nah, because what are you gonna do? You don't get a job nowhere else but a club, honey. You're not gonna get a job nowhere else. Like, so Georges, I feel, needs to step up her acting and step up her confidence. Also, she kind of is looking at everyone else constantly. Like, I get it. There's some seasoned queens in front of you, but you made it on the show. And everybody knows who your name is, mostly than most of the people on that cast, okay? So I think you should take advantage. It's like Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie didn't deliver nothing in the beginning. Nothing, because you left the first episode. Nothing, but she made such a name for herself. Georges did the same thing. She kind of like made a popularity. We love Georges as a personality. I didn't think they were strong. I don't think they were strong in their performance together.
He said Georges is a great drag queen. A great RuPaul's Drag Race contestant? No. Great drag? Yes. Like, and that could be applied to a couple queens who's on the show. If they're not good at the competition, but they're still amazing. You're so shady. But overall on this performance, neither of them really gave for me, to be honest. Neither of them I felt like really destroyed it or really like devoured. Like,
I was like, did today people not want to work today? Because it was like, do we not want to work today? Like, I do not want to deliver. Like,
oh no,
it was an easy challenge.
Hold up. Here's the part that got me. Going into a recording video shoot thing with lines and not knowing who's going to say what line is wild to me. That is insane to me. Who does that? You went into the shoot not knowing your lines, but not knowing who was going to say what, and you're doing it on the spot. That was insane to me. Who? What?
No.
Yeah, that's what.
Listen, I think these are my favorite part about RuPaul Drag Race episodes. Sometimes is when the person you didn't think was gonna win, they deliver. You know what I mean? So I was very happy for the delivery because I didn't expect it.
Oh, of Roxy and Plastic?
Unless once you saw what they were doing, they worked well together. Everything was working well. So I saw like, oh, this is potentially gonna be great. You know, the little clips are like, cool. I'm saying when you pair them up together at first, I'm like, you were the group that I thought would have did the worst in this type of challenge. And I love when those things happen, when the underdog of a certain type of talent honed in and learned it. And I'm gonna give it. Like I saw it in Plastic's face. Like, I'm going in. I'm smart to make myself ugly. I am smart. I love, because the pretty queens don't be trying to get ugly. Like, I love that she went there and I already immediately was like, that's gonna work. That just your look itself and the stupid accent.
That's all she needed to do. Yeah.
That's all you had to do already. But then she delivered it. The lines, she delivered it. The look, everything. It was bravo. It was hilarious. But yes, I didn't understand how people walked in not knowing who was gonna say what. Like, I didn't get that either. People didn't want to come to work.
And they should never clocked in because bitch, that was awful.
That was awful. It's only 4 teams, my nigga. Like, why can't we have 4 amazing things going on? Because there's only 4. No one's going home. Like, why not go in? You know, I bet y'all were going home. Y'all would have gone in.
If they were going home, they wouldn't have just showed up not knowing who's going to say what. They were going home.
So
this
then
This is why this would never work on a regular season. This whole no eliminations thing. People here to work hard.
Especially the caliber of these girls already. We already know what they deliver, so they could deliver way better. You know what I mean? Like, we knew they could have way delivered. But what was interesting is that goes on, and then now we're back in the workroom, and we're back to the Florida drama.
Okay, so the whole thing was, we didn't forgot to mention the part. The whole thing was Roxy and Plastique for a second wanted the Florida shit, but Vanjie and Jerry weren't gonna give it up at all, which I understand. So they just had their whole little moment. What do you think about the whole situation? Like Vanjie, Roxy said something. I forgot what Roxy said for real.
I thought Roxy said, I'm not about to fight for anything, right? And that's when you automatically hear that, then you do the class acting. Well, take it. You know, like seeing that
actually,
yeah, that just take it. That's how I would have handled it too. I didn't think any of it. I thought it was like you asked what I want to do. There was nothing wrong with that. I don't think there was any drama in that moment at all.
Not that. I mean, the work group, not the moment
when the workroom comes back up, when the workroom thing comes back up, it just seems like something I would bring up too, because I'm looking at it like, well, bitch, like, why did you do the same exact style as what we were already doing? Mind you, I felt like Vanjie picked it first, and then they let you have it, but they picked it first. They were very vocal about it, clearly at the table before it got to you, and so it seems like when you were in the workroom getting ready, it seems like you were getting ready looking at the other group. So I would feel the same way, except
Roxy said something about the accents. Roxy was like,
Roxy shitted on you. It was fuck your drag, because that's what Roxy does. If you want to pull up clips, go pull up the clips. Roxy loves to make another queen feel like shit to feel better. But at the end of the day, it was that moment where I'm going to shit on the thing y'all did, even though we both did it similarly. So it was just like, what you really shitting on? It just fit more, funnier to see someone like Plastique. Plastique saved your ass. Let's do that. But it was really funny to see that situation. Miss Vanjie, and they're always going to be, you know, like they're always that, naturally. So it was just whack for Roxy for me. This is why I had something to say about Roxy. It was just whack the way you came for it, but at least Vanjie reminded me of someone like me, where it's like, bitch, I'm about to let you eat me up. Like, you're not about to eat this up.
I love Vanjie so much.
Because I caught what you did. You weren't being funny. You're being insulting. So I'm going to take it as an insult. I ain't going to take it as it's funny.
Like, because they were talking, the moment Vanjie heard her name and the word Florida, she was like, what about Florida?
What's good? Say the name right here, honey. What's good? Because the workroom is only this big, honey. So say it right. Here you go. You're looking for camera time? Let me give it to you. But I'm not going to let you or the viewers think that what you said was funny. And well, I didn't think it was funny either. I looked at it like, damn, Roxy, here we go again. You can't help yourself, girl, no matter how many decades pass. So, you can't help yourself. Roxy got to stop being a hater. Roxy, stop being a hater. At the end of the day, I thought y'all both did similar situations. And if anything, you kind of like allegedly basically stole the idea of how to do it. So at the end of the day, it just worked out. Like, it helped. But at the end of the day, if I'm not wrong, they had the Texas one. No, the Florida one, right? They had the Texas one.
Angeria and Vanjie were Florida, Roxy, Plastique, Texas.
But didn't they want Florida, Roxy? And
they both wanted Florida. Vanjie and
I thought that Vanjie gave it to her.
No, Vanjie and Angeria wanted Florida first. Plastique said that she wanted Florida for like a second, and then they had a little back and forth. Like, it was 2 seconds.
Yeah, all Roxy said was, I'm not gonna fight about it.
Exactly. So Angeria were like, okay, then we want Florida. So they did Florida.
Oh, that's what they said. I thought you said you could have Florida. Okay, so they did. So you're saying, okay, so they did Tumbleweed, Texas.
And then that's how they got Tumbleweed, Texas.
So at the end of the day, like, let's be really honest. That does not represent what they did. You get what I'm saying? That's more like some Nebraska shit they pulled.
Nebraska.
So if y'all go back to Matilda Davis, A Simple Wish, I think it's called, and remember she gets transferred into Nebraska, and like that's what I think of in that moment. So, but like I said, those two, Texas and Florida, Gator Glaze, it would be different. You picked Miami, it would have been different, you know. They should have put Miami, Florida, because then you could have sold some city girl shit. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been interesting. Okay, like some So, you know, Vandy could have been a hot tamale, something of a gala type of like we are selling it, you know, because Miami is just, that's what it is. So, my issue, they ain't look like it. They did steal the idea from me. Allegedly, they stole the idea they were looking at Nigeria, because they were vocal about everything from the get. So I think that's why it was easy for you to, you know, we're going to do it this way. It worked for you. I will say, it worked for you, but you shouldn't have insulted it. That's what I think. It worked for you, but why would you insult it when you basically did the same thing?
I will say they could do different things, but I do feel like on surface level, to give a benefit of the doubt, it could be like something that almost becomes the same thing because they hear country. So when people hear country, they limit what they think country is.
That's what I said. They went real stereotype. Like I was like, well, that's a stereotype.
They both went like stereotype types, like the incest joke for Nigeria and Vanjie, like the country bumpkin thing that Roxy and Plastique went. It was surface level stereotype stuff. So, but yeah, that went how that went.
That did go how that went. So then the runway happens. I don't know how anybody got dressed after that little tension in the room. It just was a tense day in the workroom. Let me tell you, there was just a tense day in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay, so it was tense in the workroom. They was not playing nice. That's why I was trying to catch the untucked, but I didn't. But I was trying to catch the untucked because I'm like, it seemed like everybody had an attitude or didn't want to work. So, so now the runways arrive, and the runway is
day to night reveal.
Day to night reveals. How did you feel about it? What was some of your favorite looks?
Okay, first let me say, here's how I'm going about it. To me, with a reveal outfit, even though the category is literally reveal, so you're expecting a reveal, I still feel like a reveal should be still a surprise, almost. Like you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how the reveal is going to happen. Like it still needs to be like some sort of shock factor. That being said, my favorite was Got Mix. Because Got Mix, everyone was doing like a tearaway. Everything's going to be torn off. Like, it happens so much, you kind of expect it from the next girl. Or like something's like taken off and like it falls apart. But for Got Mix, she did it differently. The whole turnaround reveal, it's like a sexy outfit with the suit in the front. I was like, okay. And by the way, Got Mix's body is amazing. Didn't expect that. Got Mix has a great body. So like the whole turnaround, the whole outfit, I feel like Got Mix was definitely my favorite. Least favorite, I would have to say was, oh, you didn't ask me that. We ain't there yet. What was your favorite? I ain't gonna get my least favorite yet.
My favorites were Got Mix, and I enjoyed Nigeria's look.
Hers was cute.
Hers was like, it's Nigeria. Like that's why I like, you know, it was very Nigeria. Now, the look I did not like.
You go first.
The look I did not like was Nina West.
Who is Nina Scott? She's not like a stripper.
I think there's a name. I think that's a celebrity or something.
Is she from Daddy's?
I don't know. No, I think maybe she like. No, I think she was like an artist or something. One of the like.
I recognize that.
Well, did we have a drag queen? I don't know.
I recognize the name. I look it up.
That name, Nina Sky, sounds nice. Sounds better. But Nina West, I did not like your dress. And I just want everybody to be aware, this is just my personal opinion. Not everybody runs this way, but this is my personal opinion. At the end of the day, like we're representing our community, right? And at the end of the day, we do understand that out there are religious people who come after us and persecute our way of living, right? But there are plenty of our people who love God. And at the end of the day, I just don't think we should be playing on that card on a regular TV show. This is not the sermon. This is not CNN. I feel like it has nothing to do with the votings. It has nothing to do with they're actually making anti-legislation against Ford. Like that's not what they're bringing up. That's only what an ignorant person is bringing up. But at the end of the day, I think you also need to represent us because at the end of the day, there are people who actually have a respect for God. And lately, I'm not okay with the whole gay community thinking it's like, well, retaliation is shitting on it. All it shows is that you're just as ignorant as that evil person. At the end of the day, like you're just as ignorant as that evil person that's doing that to you. So don't think you're doing better by being petty and equalized like that. Like God, calling God a drag, like stay out. For me, it wasn't it. Then the dress was awful. The dress was awful. Now, if you wanted to say God was a woman, that would have been a different quote to put on your dress. But for you to put God as a drag, like, no, you fucking fools, y'all put on makeup, clownery, dresses, that you become this. Not that you are this. This is not something like this is not I'm not gonna compare a drag queen to a trans woman. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, now drag is drag. So I'm like, you're not about to say God's a stripper. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. So for me, that part killed. I didn't like the dress even more because of the message on it, but I didn't like the dress at all. The dress was like horribly constructed. And it looked like she just cut it out right now and went on the runway, which is surprising. Like I said, Nina, with the horror and with the runway, I'm like, gosh, your outfits weren't screaming Nina. I was expecting something out of the reveals. I thought Nina would have got us something creative because she's so campy. So I thought maybe like under her wig a bird fly out or something. You know what I mean? Something like nothing. And I agree with you about the reveals though, that they were very lazy. Gottmik was the only one who actually gave us like, oh my God, didn't know that was gonna happen from that one. But everyone else is like, well, we know you're about to just tear it away and do a spin. Oh, and Roxy's also was my least favorite, but
as you can see, G is a huge Nina West and Roxy Andrews fan.
Oh wait, no. I like Nina West on TikTok when she reads to the children. When Nina West is doing for the children, I live. She's a perfect example of why drag is not bad or a crime for children. Okay, Nina is the best example for that. Cause some of y'all claiming that drag queens, like, you know, when Chanel was on Roscoe's talking about we should be able to do this. No, not the way you dress. Not the way you dress, Chanel. Not the way you dress is not appropriate. The way you dress as you're a drag, certain drag queens' aesthetics are not appropriate. But for children. But when it comes to Nina, she's a perfect representation of why drag is vital for children.
I know, I'm kidding. I know you like Nina.
But I just think
you're Roxy for like a second. Let Roxy breathe. God damn.
But Roxy like this. I think Roxy does shit for this. Roxy likes this shit. Roxy don't do nothing for no reason. As many years as we've seen Roxy now, I feel Roxy enjoys being that girl where it's like, no, but I'm still gonna make you talk about me. I'ma still make you talk about me. And you got that, girl. You got me talking about you. Because I was like, what was that? You are a seamstress. I thought you could have you disappointed me. You disappointed me. Okay.
Disappointed.
Shout out to Baddies. But I'm just like, you disappointed me. Okay. So.
Well, the Nina one I can definitely agree with for multiple reasons. Nina, first of all, first look, obvious reveal. Too obvious, the most obvious one. That's the first thing. The reveal to the second look, I ain't really like it. I ain't really like the second look. I will say it was surprising to see the third one. The third one was a surprise. I didn't expect it to be like a gown coming out of that, so she ate that part. But overall, didn't really like Nina's that much. So I would say she was my least favorite. And I didn't really like Chanel's.
Nina would have been lip syncing for her life for me that episode.
Another one that was amazing though. Actually, another one that was amazing, even though it was super obvious. It was Plastique's. Like before look was amazing. The reveal look was amazing. But amazing. Like, of course, it was a reveal giant outfit.
But I feel like at the end of the day, we know she's gonna bring a look. She's gonna bring the look fine.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
I think me and you were looking for the reveals. We were looking for like, where is the magic of reveals? Like, where's the drag queen magic? It's like when you have Broadway magic. Where's the drag queen magic in this moment? That's what we were missing this episode. I'm telling you, I felt like it was very lazy. This episode was very lazy. Y'all disappointed me. Y'all disappointed me.
You disappointed me. Gottmik did it best. That's what I'm saying. Oh no, I forgot about George's. I forgot about George's.
No, I was leaving George's for last. I didn't forget George's. I wanted to talk about George's because George's has a moment on the runway that I want to talk about. So that's why I was like, it's kind of good that we kind of leave our opinion for George's last, because I didn't think George's did bad for her reveal. I just thought it was just plain.
It was very plain. And the thing is, but okay, let me tell you, George's wigs were my favorite thing this episode. The blonde wig was amazing. This black huge wig with the Selena swirl, I was like, bitch, I want to.
Honey, I mean, let's be honest. When you're this tall and you use a wig as tall as you, it works. It's like unlike Nina, where it's like it works sometimes and it doesn't work sometimes because you're so tall. But with someone like George's, her wigs, I like all her wigs. There's not a wig I've hated.
Georgia Stay having. I say that. Georgia Stay having a good wig.
Yeah, there's not a look I hate on George's either. I just feel like sometimes she doesn't go hard enough. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And that was the thing for this episode. The reveal, the look, the second look was amazing. It was just like, we need a bigger reveal into it.
I would love to see George's and what Plastique was wearing for the second reveal. Like, I would love to see George's play around. I would love to, if you're going to be the Latin girl, like, you know, being sexy and all stuff, can you show me, call Carmen Carrera, call a couple of these bitches and start doing a little bit of difference if you're going to be on the nude thing all the time. But I'm just like, and showing the body, you know? So I'm like, just get out of your box because it seems very limited. George's looks seem limited. That's my issue. Like, it's like limited. And I know if we put something on her that she might not be used to, she probably would kill it. You know what I mean? Plastique taking that risk in the real estate game. George's, you need to take a risk if you want to compete with these girls. Just because RuPaul's gonna be like, you know, like when we had that moment where she breaks down because they told her she got to step it up a little bit.
I think what stems from that is because
they said it the nice way. Yeah,
because Georges is one of RuPaul's born to do drag girls. Like the girl she said was born to do drag, which obviously with Georges, I completely agree. Georges can perform. She's petite as fuck. Throw any outfit on her. That's a woman. Like, that's a woman when she gets into makeup. She doesn't need to have much makeup to give what she needs to give. Outfit, she's gonna give it to you every time. So born to do drag, that's Georges is. But I can understand like the pressure.
Beautiful twinks. Like you usually know how to turn into women in 2 seconds.
Exactly. Like she feels like she's putting, letting RuPaul down because she's not performing that well this season. But which they had the moment. RuPaul restored her. What's that?
Before RuPaul gives her like the response, right? To try to make her feel like you're good, girl. Relax. You know, like we just basically like, you know, it's just letting you know it's good. Before that happened, I just felt, and you could disagree, but I felt when Georgia said what she said, and this is my moment as a viewer where I'm like, this is why you're not ready for this competition. Like, this is why you're not ready for this kind of competition. This kind of competition is not for you to walk in as an all-star and feel that kind of way. Like, this is some shit that you would say, like, maybe during, like, your first season. But, like, right now, I'm like, no, I get why you internally feel that way. But I felt like it was, like, a victim little situation. Like, it was just like she, you know, you were being sensitive to those critiques. Because I don't feel like her critiques were bad. I just felt like her critiques were clearly different from everybody else. They were the worst. But they were the most, none of her critique was, you did bad. You just could have did better. That's what they kind of basically told you, honey. Not that you were bad.
Do you think it was just those critiques? Do you think it was probably the critiques she had throughout the season? Like,
I feel like the girls underestimate her, and they don't show that. But I think the girls underestimate Georges. You know what I mean? I think Georges is being tried.
Because I forgot to mention, we didn't even mention this. We didn't even mention this like last episode. Georges did win the first challenge. Like performance challenges, Georges is that bitch. Like if it's a performance challenge, a lip sync challenge, you better watch out because Georges is going to be the top competition in that bitch.
Georges is a lip sync assassin, honey. We know that.
He will knock all y'all down when it comes to a lip sync. Like, and that's just it. Depending on the song.
Yeah.
Depending on the song.
No. I'm thinking. I'm like, no. It depends on the song. She don't know how to give. Problem with Georgia, she don't know. You can't give her a Whitney Houston song because she don't know what to do with that.
Not sold.
And that's what she needs to learn. That's what she needs to learn. She needs to learn how to feel the song, not only perform it. Because at the end of the day, no one goes to the drag show just to see a performance, honey. We want to see the living the song. Like it's coming out of your soul, like, you know.
That's why flipping tricks don't guarantee a win. Flipping a trick ain't gonna guarantee you the win of the competition.
Flipping a trick does not guarantee it, but now we have other stuff, you know, like that's different. If it's a different song, like, you know, boom, you know. I do like the fact that the songs this season, by the way, have been great. Like, I like the fact that we're messing with rap, we're messing with pop. It's not just all pop and all that. You got the old school ballads. It's pretty good. Like, I'm enjoying the song choices this year. Again, guest judge, he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like,
can I be honest with you right now?
You should have had Tinky Winky with the
Can I be honest right now? Oh, it was him. I was going to say, I forgot who the guest judge was. It was that
The
dude
Chinese
who's been
boy that
like,
the Chinese
he's been
man
famous like
that's
forever.
I'm sorry, I don't know the Chinese, the Asian man. I'm gonna say the Asian man. The Asian man that be doing like he don't even be the main character like in most of his shows. So I don't understand. Like don't shade, don't shade. But I'm like, what did you bring? Like that's not.
He's been famous for like my entire life. I literally grew up.
Who is this? Like I've seen him. It's just he doesn't have a main character.
No, I'm saying in shows, but like not like main. I don't know his name, but like I've seen him. I remember seeing him through shows for like years. Like,
and that's a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't know why you were there to critique. I didn't know like how your job even gets close to this.
But you want a Tinky Winky.
Because guess what? Her purse is much purse first. Okay, purse
Tinky
first.
Winky would have served a look. Tinky Winky would have been expressed.
And you could have gave Bob the Drag Queen a homage moment. Purse first. You could have gave a moment. Okay, you know what I mean? So. I thought, that would have been more interesting. I thought guest judges was kind of whack. Some of the work ethic was whack. We saw this episode, so I hope they step it up next week. So at the end, we have time for the blocking. It is time for them to snip somebody. Now, let's remember, Roxy now has the scissors in her hands.
Wait, first. Just also no lip sync because
I didn't think of the lip. I thought the lip sync was corny. I keep forgetting. You helped me bring up stuff that I didn't think was, stuff. So we had technical difficulties. So of course you're gonna see that little edit cut. But yes, you brought up the lip sync. So let's talk about the lip syncs before we forget.
Okay, so one thing I didn't clock until I saw other people mention it, and I looked back. These girls did not know the words to this song, and I didn't realize until I looked back and looked at their mouths. Yeah, because honestly I was confused why Plastic didn't win. I was like, Plastic did amazing. Plastic ate that up. It was undeniable. Plastic gave
He did not know none of the words.
That's what I'm saying. I rewatched. Then I looked at Plastic's mouth. Plastic ain't know the words to the song.
Wait, but you didn't notice. You didn't notice it the first time. Like, what are you looking at when you're doing the lip sync? Like, what are you looking at?
No, when I look back, it was okay. I think it was her hair in the way. I was just looking at the hair thing. I was like, she looks good. I was listening to their mouths and like, some parts you can't catch it that they didn't know the words if you're not looking at the right thing. It wasn't until I looked closer at the mouths. No, didn't know the words.
Thought it was a horrible.
I missed it the first time.
Thought it was a horrible lip sync. One knew a little bit more, but didn't know all the words either. Like she didn't know all the words either. So. I didn't care for this lip sync because I don't like when they do that. Like, I'm like, well, y'all didn't practice at all. The words. And I was like, it was a popular song too, so I didn't understand. So I was like, all right, cool. But the lip sync was all right. I think the lip syncs are not as super exciting this time because ain't nobody trying. They're just winning for the cheddar, so they're not really going as hard as they could. Like, I feel like
that's yet to be
honest. That's the only thing that's missing from the Life is on the Line kind of feeling. Like they go in harder,
No lip sync has really like shook me just yet. Like no lip sync has rocked me. Yeah, I'm waiting for that still. But like I thought Plastic was gonna win because I didn't notice her lips, and I was like, she's dancing good, she's looking good, hair, she's body. Like Roxy was doing the whole like dancing goofy thing, but I was like, that's not moving me as much. Like for this song at least.
Roxy was a Roxy.
Roxy's a Roxy. She's Roxy Andrews that she didn't make it clear.
It was like doing her look, doing her thing, you know what I mean? But the lipstick was wah-wah. I wouldn't give no money to that. But yeah, time for the blocking. I want to get into the blocking because I didn't care about the lip sync. The blocking. Roxy got the scissors in her hands. Now, who did you think she was going to snip before she even walked towards anybody? Who did you think she was going to snip?
before she was even walking towards anybody. I'm trying to think. It would be smart. Well, who she ended up blocking, Shay, because that would have been the smart move. Big at this moment, still, all right. I thought the second best competitor is not Mick. But and I'm like,
I thought that was the same. That was the clear person to snip was me too. I was like, that was a clear person to snip for me. Like, I'm like, snip got Mick.
Like, that's the who else you want to snap, babe? Like, that's the first.
Like, but then she ends up walking, and then thinks by like not looking where she stops. That's what she's like, I'm just gonna have it randomly picked. So I'm just gonna walk around but exactly stop right behind Angeria. I need the whole stage.
Angeria was there.
We all were like, everybody was like, wait a second. Even the girls on the stage was like, hold on, girl. Are you looking to get beat up?
Space.
Yeah, I think everybody thought in their head is like, do you want Angeria to jump your ass? Like, I don't understand what you doing right now. Like,
yeah. Girl said, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop where I think I'm just gonna stop. Like, it stops right behind Angeria.
And then Rupaul was like, that's not the right answer. She's like, no, I gotta change it. Because Angeria was looking at her like, bitch, I will fuck you up. Like she wanted to give it to Roxy in that moment, but then Roxy's like, I'm gonna change my mind. Do you think she should have changed her mind?
First of all, I don't.
As a viewer, would you want her to have changed the answer for viewer entertainment?
Oh, I would have gagged if she would have blocked Angeria a third time.
If you would have kept that like that, I would have been like, oh, the drama. Like,
if she would have blocked her a third time just because, oh my gosh.
But next week would have been everybody. Roxy worried about, in this moment, I think Roxy actually worried about how she would look towards the viewers. That's what she thought in that head.
No, I would, but honestly, I'd hate it for Angeria because Angeria would definitely be hurt. I would hate it for her. So but as a viewer,
that's what I'm saying. As a viewer, because we love Angeria, so we were definitely gonna defend Angeria and be like, "You do not pull that shit
down."
But realistically, as a viewer, that would have been great. I was secretly. I think there was about 5% of me that was like, keep it, girl. Keep it.
No, listen. I was like, don't take it at all.
But at first, I was just like,
keep it there.
Bitch, I'ma fuck you up. Like, no. Don't be trying to mess up somebody good like that. But the drama, I would have lived for it. I would have lived for that Untucked episode. I would have tuned into that Untucked episode. I would have tuned in.
Listen, face crack of the season. That would have been up there with season 2 All Stars when they come under Angeria. That would have been there for me. If she would have just went and blocked Angeria a third time, I think she just told her how much she didn't like that, how they would have said like, oh, it was nothing personal. But I'm gonna block you a third time. Oh, that would have been. Oh.
That would have been great drama, but I'm glad it didn't happen that way because we did not want Angeria to go through that. But ultimately, do you feel they're playing a good game right now? Do you feel the strategy is going to change due to the fact of this particular episode? They kind of like looked at it like, damn, like when we give away badges, like, do you think the strategy might change on snipping from right now?
I'm gonna be so real with you. All these types of strategies, I'm like Chanel in the beginning of the episode when they talk about their strategies and their points and their numbers and shit. I don't even think they really know what their strategy is in this competition. Everyone is, I feel like the whole alliance conversation threw a wrench in everyone's plans and no one knows what they're doing for real. They have ideas of what they want to do. They think they know what they're gonna do, but really, I don't think no one's strategy is working. No one's strategy is really
Well, give it to RuPaul. Like, you created a format that kind of throws them off. So a lot of the All-Star formats, the girls control the game completely.
Mm-hmm.
This format allows some type of like twist and turn where you're like, oh wait, I should have cut you next week, not this person. Like, Now, do I cut because they're good? No, I think everybody, I think cutting people because they're good in this instant works. This is a smart way to play the game.
Because with this damn strategy, with this structure, you have to be almost a damn fortune teller to really understand this strategy.
Or pay attention to the one that you know might win more often. Like, be more real about that. Like, got mixed should be snipped.
But the thing is, there's moments like this episode where you probably think someone like Plastic who bombed Snatch Game, Roxy who wasn't acting at Snatch Game or acting challenges at all, but then in the end they come up and they're the winners of the episode. You don't know who's going to come around at the end. Eliminating them off the bat was easy because you didn't have to think about them again. This season, this structure, you can't underestimate anybody.
Nah,
you can't think nobody.
No, for real. That's what I said. They came up. I don't think the snipping should be taken personal.
No shade, because it is a compliment. It's
a compliment because you thought, bitch, I'm going to win next week. You worried about me winning next week. But at the end of the day, I think it's a compliment. And it also looks at it like, that's the game. So at the end of the day, if that was a tool you're supposed to use, what else is the snipping supposed to be used for? I'm not going to take out George's.
And unless she gets another badge, but girl, till then.
Like, and if she does, like, I don't think it's not like, yeah, I just like, you never know, one. But two, I'm like, the snipping that's how you shouldn't take it so personal because next week it could be nothing. That snip could be nothing.
You know, Chanel hasn't got snipped yet.
Because they sleeping on the girl. Keep sleeping on the girl. She old, but keep sleeping on the girl. Now, Chanel,
I want Chanel to have her moment so bad. I want Chanel to have her moment.
They're sleeping on you because you still sleeping. Let's talk about that real quick. Chanel, you still sleeping. That's why I know what you're capable of, honey. Like, I remember you so clearly from your season. You were one of the girls that, till this day, I would always mention.
One of the main girls.
Always mention because you had one of the most sickening makeup looks. You had one of the most sickening hairstyles. You had the most sickening lip syncs.
The closet is positing.
So at the end of the day, I'm like, it's time to open up and let us in, honey, because I think you're a little intimidated by the situation too. And you are also older, so you kind of have this thought process like, I ain't gonna do the most. Like, no, bitch, do the most. Do the most. Do the most. Hopefully they step it up next week because this episode was, y'all disappointed. Okay, so
I will say with Chanel, I feel like she has the mentality. I feel like a lot of queens who came back from older seasons had as they came on Drag Race. They already come in with the intimidation of these other girls because this is a new generation. We didn't do all this. They already come in almost defeated in a way. Like,
in a way,
girl,
but I feel like hers makes sense.
You can do this.
Chanel
I understand it makes sense. You have to adjust to like what's new now, but like
you have to adjust to everything.
Girl, you got this.
So there was no challenges in her.
Exactly, there was no challenges in that season.
It was only looks,
But I feel like someone like Chanel, especially season one Chanel, if season one Chanel was in the competition now, it would have been easy. Not easy, but like Chanel would have ran through a good amount of these girls.
That's what I'm saying. Like if y'all put her in a regular drag queen episode, cool. But these all stars. I need her to step it up. She got to step it up. Step it up, and show us what it's been. You've been working the whole time, so you obviously seen a lot of shit on the road, So what did you learn? Like, I haven't seen what Chanel's growth is. I haven't seen what Chanel, because at the end of the day, like Camera, it's been a long time. So, but it's almost a decade. I mean, 2 decades almost. So let's not forget what is good. But I am looking forward. I love Chanel, so I'm looking forward for her to wake up and do more. Once again, RuPaul girls are not for us to bash. Do not go on their webs. Don't go on their social medias. If you don't like them, obviously I'm not a big fan of Roxy, right? So I'm not gonna run on Roxy's page. I'm not a big.
All the great things you said about Roxy this episode.
But
all the kind-hearted things.
I do not ever go on Roxy's page and fuck her drag because at the end of the day she is vital to the Ru history, and any girl, any drag queen that comes into this and puts themselves out there in front of millions, because now we don't do just national, honey, we're international. Millions and millions and millions of people. You gotta give them props for. They're not here for the hate. So, Drag Race fans, let's talk the shit. See who should have won, who didn't win, and leave it at that. Okay, leave it at that, because there'll be a new season anyway. It's coming up after. So like,
we just two fans giving our opinions, and that's what we like. That's just what we're doing. At the end of the day, they're up there doing their thing, doing their big ones, touring and shit. We're just giving our thoughts about it. But yeah,
every week we got y'all. We're gonna talk it. But RuPaul, again, one more message for you, and I'm gonna keep saying it every week. Get some new producers. Get some new producers before you destroy. Before you have to take a break for real.
Black ones.
You know, like, can
black
we get
producers.
Some black producers? And also, where are the dark-skinned pit crew? So, you know, so at the end of the day, like I said, not only represent for the spiritual ones, represent for the chocolate lovers. Like, what happened? Like, I'm gonna be honest, ain't nobody trying to run a train on them. Not everybody want to run a train on them. That is the look stereotype that y'all like in the pit crew things in the gay world, but honey, not all of us is into that. Not one of us would even give that time of day to any of that. So, can we have a true representation? What you should have is what's his name? That everybody knows, Bruno. Bruno, have a dark-skinned fella and have an Asian, and you're good.
You
Bruno represents.
I haven't seen that last Asian in a while. There was one Asian dude, and he was...
Do it like that. Do it like that. Do it like that. And that will keep it fair for everybody if there has to be three. Because Bruno represents a little bit of the white side, okay? But he's mixed, so he's a little bit of the white side. But as dark skin, we need that. And the Asians, they need that. So at the end of the day, like...
Not a whitewash dark skin, no shade. We had one dark skin.
Yeah, I don't need Tajik Hall on the show. But I need...
I did for Pit Crew. Oh my god. I did Pit Crew, nigga. I did Pit Crew.
Ooh, you know, Tajik. Yeah, y'all need that.
That's another episode. That's a whole nother episode.
You know what? We'll soon plan a nice pop culture episode where we're just talking about random pop culture things. You know what I mean? And definitely keep y'all out, because there's a lot to be said. When we get off this, we usually be talking a lot about other people, okay? So that goes on to this game. So, RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 9 on Paramount Plus every Friday. I think this episode will drop probably by Friday. I have to do some editing and stuff, but G Babies, thanks for tuning in to G-Star's World. Thank you, Quan, for joining me once again. Stay tuned, because I will be doing that horror thing for him, and
he's looking forward to it.
Just like I look forward to Roxy's looks every week. So, everybody tune in to Jesus World. We'll see you next week. Deuces. Imagine I was recording. Oh, look at the I'm gonna leave the balloons.
Why do